Hi everyone, welcome to our session today. So today's session is on our body, the shape of our body. So let's get started. Let's close our eyes, connect the tongue to the palate. So today we'll do the invocation first. Let's close our eyes, connect the tongue to the palate. Let's be aware of the energy around us. Let us invoke to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother. We thank you for your priceless blessings, for divine light, divine love, divine guidance, divine love, mercy, inner healing, physical healing. Thank you for the inner strength to practice regularly. Thank you for your divine help and protection, for illumination, abundance, and prosperity. So there are a few words that we use in the invocation, one of which is, thank you for the illumination, abundance, and prosperity. Okay. So when we talk about the word illumination, what we are talking about is, light on the path ahead. So, if you visualize driving in if you're driving in an isolated road and the only thing in front is your own headlights, right? So at that point, you really need your headlights to work. So that is illumination, right? Because that is the light on top of a path. And that tells us where we are going to go. So what happens sometimes is that when it comes to things like our body, we don't know what to do. And there is so many types of advice available everywhere that I think sometimes what happens is we're not really sure about how to go about it, right? So again, when we are dealing with any kind of problem, it's a good thought to just be aware of illumination, to ask for guidance. The next one I want to talk about is abundance. Now, abundance means different things to different people. Now, if we lived in a certain period of history, I don't know if you know, but women with very large hips were considered to be very beautiful. Okay. So, and of course, today we are in the era where, size zero, and I don't know if they have anything smaller than that, but like, size zero is what is considered beautiful. We see these tall models who are very, very thin. So, one of the things that came to my mind is that, is it about the size of the body or is it about the shape of the body? And so I looked at the courses that, yes, of course, that Master Chokok Sui has developed for us. And if you see some of the courses, for example, so I'll just show you one. So this is the chart of all the courses that we have. And if you notice the course, it doesn't say weight loss program. It says body sculpting. Okay, it's over here. Pranic facial and body sculpting. So, it makes me think that obviously Master Chua knew what he was talking about, obviously. So what he's saying is that, we want our body to be shapely. That's more important than it being thin. And often what happens is that people go on like, weird diets, basically to shed weight. That doesn't really help because sometimes they even lose the luster of their skin, or they, lose the water in their body. And of course, we all know, like, there are some crazy, crazy things that happen, right, in that process. So one of the things with body sculpting is that it is the process of, what should I say, redistributing whatever is there in the body into different places. So let's say, for example, if I have, God forbid, if I have fat in my hips, and I move it down into my thighs and into my legs, and I convert them into muscle. So I don't know. Again, a lot of what I'm sharing is what I have acquired over the years, and I would encourage everyone to please also make sure that you validate it with your own sources, because this is an experience that applies to me. And so one of the things that I've noticed is that, if we have more muscle, then we tend to burn more fat. It's funny, but that's just how it is. It's that if we have a lot of muscle, then the body will tend to consume the food that we consume, that we have, rather than just if we have a lot of fat. So again, there's the role of exercise, right? So one of the things that I would like to share about here is, when we talk about body sculpting, it's also about being comfortable, right, with our body, with this body. Now the question is, why would we as a spiritual school be interested in a shapely body? Yeah. So one of the things is because the soul resides in the body. Okay, so this body is the residence of my soul. And like any other residence, I would like this residence to be, good looking, clean, shapely, all the other things that go with living in a place. So, while we do the soul affirmation and we say, I am not the body, that is one aspect of truth, which is that I, the soul, am not the body. But the body is where the soul lives. So what that also means is we have to take care of it, right? So let's say, for example, we're driving our car. Now we know that we are not our car, but we need to take care of the car, right? So the same thing, it's like we don't want to be over attached to our body where everything we do is for our body, but at the same time we need to be aware that the body is where the soul lives. It's also called the temple of the soul, but I thought that was kind of like overused. So I thought we'll just call it the residence of the body. Now, in her book, Louise Hayes talks about my body is a glorious place to live. This is from Louise Hayes' Love Your Body. She says it's in perfect shape, size, and color. It serves me so well. I marvel at the miracle that is my body. I choose healing thoughts that create and maintain my healthy body and make me feel good. I love and appreciate my body. So why is the body so important? The body is so important because it is through the body that the soul undergoes certain experience and works out certain karma. Okay, so that's why the body is important for all of us who have tried to meditate, and of course we meditate here, every day. You may have noticed that if the body is not comfortable, then you can't meditate, right? Or if the body is hungry, or if the body is uncomfortable, then we are not able to do our meditation, right? So obviously the body is important. The body has a role to play. And when we keep our body clean and we love our body, then what happens is that we are able to live in this body comfortably. So same thing with the house, right? So if we're living in a house and the house is messy, you don't like living in that house. So also, one of the things about body sculpting and loving our body is that when we love our body, we are more likely to get its cooperation. Okay, because according to some of the books by Master Chua, the body also has its own consciousness, right? Because let's say, for example, when we hurt ourselves, like, if it's a small scratch or something like that, then what happens? The body heals itself. You don't need to even do anything, right? No doctor, no nothing, it just heals itself. So obviously the body has that level of consciousness to be able to repair itself. It's just that sometimes we interfere so much with it that the body is not able to do that. So if we love our body, if we actually have nice things to say about our body, if we are grateful to our body, then it's more likely to cooperate. So just think about it. When we have a situation where we need help from somebody, are we more likely to get help when we are nice to them? Or are we more likely to get help if we are not nice to them? Which one is going to get us more help? Obviously when we're nice to them, right? So similarly, we need to be nice to our body. Okay, so today we are going to talk about, let's do the soul affirmation. So we'll do the soul affirmation with some variations. This is basically to help us loosen some of the stuff that we need to let go of. And we already have a couple of videos out there for binge eating, so if you like, you can go through those. And today we'll focus more on sculpting the body and reorganizing the stuff that's in there. Okay. Okay, so let's close our eyes and let's do the soul affirmation. I am that I am. I am not the body. The body is the vehicle of the soul. I am not my emotions. The emotions and the thoughts are products of the soul. I, the soul, am going to create thoughts and emotions that support me and support my body. My body is the vehicle of my soul. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am one with my higher soul. I am that I am. Now, there is a role of the higher soul in this, in the sense that if we have received a certain type of body, it is to learn certain types of lessons. So, let's say, for example, we are very slim and we look down on people who are fat, for example. So maybe the soul's lesson is to learn compassion, right? So maybe we need to be compassionate towards those whose bodies are not so much in shape as ours are. Or if a body is not able to move as fast, then maybe we need to be gentle towards it. What about bodies that have aged? There are bodies that cannot move as fast. And so, are we the kind of people who are like, oh, look at these people, they're walking so slowly. Can't they walk faster? Are we one of those people, or do we understand that at some point our body will also be old and will need that extra time to move? So, do we have that level of compassion? So, there is a lot of things that go into body and body sculpting and loving our body. We also have to love and appreciate other people's bodies. Okay, so let's do the final bit, which is I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am one with the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I am connected with God. I am one with God, and I am one with all. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to do again the I love my body affirmation with Louise Hayes. I don't think this particular book is available anymore. It's out of print from what I understand, but there is a book called Heal Your Body by Louise Hayes, which contains all some of these affirmations. Okay. So it says, I love my body. So let's close our eyes and let's visualize this stuff. My body is a glorious place to live. I rejoice that I have chosen this particular body because it is perfect for me in this lifetime. It is the perfect size and shape and color. It serves me so well. I marvel at the miracle that is my body. I choose healing thoughts that create and maintain my healthy body and make me feel good. I love and appreciate my beautiful body. I also wanted to add that the meditation of twin hearts is a beautiful technique to help also shape up the body and to shed the psychological issues that may sometimes cause us to have a body that is not functioning properly, either in shape or in, if we have excess fat or if we have emotions about our body that don't support us. So the Twin Hearts meditation is like taking a spiritual shower. And we have a couple of versions of Twin Hearts meditation on our YouTube channel, which you can use apart from that. So let's close our eyes, connect the tongue to the palate. Let us be aware of any negative thoughts that we have towards our body. If I think that my belly is too big or my thighs are too fat or whatever it is, remember, like I was saying, there was a time in the world when, big thighs were considered beautiful, big hips were considered beautiful. You know, there have been like different, at different points in time, the fashion changes. And now, for those of us who are in the spiritual schools, we are also aware that when we have a wish, sometimes it has to come true in some lifetime or the other. So maybe a wish that we had, let's say in Victorian times, to have, a big size bottom has now come true in a time, which is today, where big fat bottom is not such a good thing, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that that's how sometimes we end up describing ourselves. So let's just be aware that it may be a wish that came to us that we wished for at a certain time in history, in a certain incarnation, and today it's not relevant anymore. So, what we are going to do is we're just going to say, I love my body. And let us also remove any restrictions that we have placed on ourselves to change our body. Okay, so let's be willing to change our body. Any negative attitudes that we have towards our body, let's bring them out to the surface, so that when we do the healing today, we will be, it'll be easier for us to remove some of those things from your energy body at least. Okay, okay. Let's be aware of our crown, our heart, and our hands. Let's use this energy to bless ourselves. Let's make a very strong visualization of what we want our body to look like. Let's make sure it's realistic. So, if we are 5'2", we're not going to become 5'6". That's not going to happen. So let's come up with a realistic body shape and let's bless that. Let's be aware of how we are going to feel when our body looks a certain way, and what are we going to do with it? What is the purpose for having a different body than the one that we have, a different body shape? I feel that as long as our purpose is noble, the chances are high that it will happen. If we are happy that our body is fit and fine and slim and energetic, so we can serve more and we can heal more and we can do more, then I think the energy will flow very, very fast. Because then we're also offering ourselves to be of service to humanity. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Let's have a clear vision of the body. Let's have a clear vision of the purpose that that body is going to accomplish once it's fitter, better, healthier. Inhale and exhale. Let's bless our health target. If there's an organ in the body or a part of the body that is ailing, let's bless that part of the body. Let's bless our relationships. Let us be aware of the role that our parents have to play in the formation of our body. Let's forgive our parents for any mistakes that they may have made in bringing us up with reference to food. Any anger for not providing, for providing too much. Any anger for not saying anything or saying too much. Any anger for not knowing better. Let's just forgive our parents. Let's release all those thoughts. Let's be aware of our spiritual target again, and also with reference to our body. What are we going to do with a body that looks different, looks healthier, looks fitter, looks shapelier? What are we going to do with it? Let's bless the spiritual target of the body, related to the body. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Let's also be aware of everyone suffering everyone who is specifically suffering because of the COVID-19 infection, their family members. And also let's bless people like us who are here to serve by blessing the planet Earth, by doing healing. Let's bless the vision of one pranic healer per family. Inhale and exhale and bless the entire planet. So when we are letting go, when we finish the meditation and we are letting go, how many of us feel a pull, that we don't want to let go? So just wanted to share that when we are not able to let go, that's also when we have an accumulation of fat in the body. The accumulation of fat in the body is also a result of our not being able to let go, either at the emotional level or at the physical level. So, one more thing that is useful to be aware of is that, are we hoarding things? Are we hoarding, just things in the house? Are we hoarding things in our body, which is then making us big and fat? And obviously, that hoarding nature is caused by insecurity. So if there's something that we are insecure about, then that can also cause the body shape to change in a manner that we may not, be happy with. So let's be aware of God's providence. Let's be aware that whatever we need is going to come to us, and let us just flow. Okay. Yes, thanks a lot. So the body sculpting protocol, obviously, we cannot do the entire protocol because it's not something that we can do long distance without seeing your body. So we have done more of like the general healing, some amount of psychotherapy for us to have a good body image. And of course, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel where we'll be sharing more thoughts on how to sculpt our body.